about regards getting their endorsement and to move on another 4 years. It's an absolute honor to serve the people of Airdrie. I mean, these are the most forward-thinking, principle-based people that I've ever met in this community. They want good government. They will not be bullied. They will not be. They will not succumb to any kind of intimidation tactics. They want good government, and they want conservative government, and that's what you saw reflected in this vote.
Is it nice, just kind of as an aside, you crossed over,
sure.
And now you're back in as a party that Airdrie elected you as, or does that matter to you at all?
It matters a great deal. It's very humbling that well over half of the folks in this riding felt that obviously they felt that the decision was principled, and they affirmed that. I knew it was, but it's always a challenge to try to convince others because at the time it was a very confusing thing. But I think after telling the story and just being truthful, the people accepted it and they supported me in it, and I will never forget this vote of faith that they've given me here tonight.
Any surprises through the campaign or tonight?
Well, you know what? Expectations, of course, were built so high with regards to those polling numbers, and they had everybody fooled, right? But I think the fear-mongering did work, unfortunately. That's part of campaigning, unfortunately, and we took the high road, and unfortunately our opponents didn't, and we suffered because of that. But you know what? At the end of the day, this will make us a stronger party because we're going to have time now to develop ourselves. We're going to have probably around 20 candidates, including our leader, Daniel Smith, in the legislature, and that is going to make a huge difference to preparing us to one day be a government in waiting. And obviously the people of Alberta said tonight they liked what they were hearing. They wouldn't have quintupled our seat total if they didn't like what they were hearing. That's a great word, isn't it? But they also said you guys need a little bit more seasoning, so we want you in opposition. We want you to be a conservative opposition. We're sick and tired of liberal opposition because it's making the PCs more liberal, and they want us to be an effective opposition, official opposition, and that's what we're going to do, and we are going to be ready.
Were you guys expecting kind of the way that the campaign went, that it kind of went from policies and the way you guys wanted to go forward into
Sure.
here's blog posts from a couple of years back, and here's what this guy said and that guy said?
You notice? Oh, good. Daniel won her seat. Yes. Okay, sorry. Get that out of my system. That's huge. Okay, good. When the campaign was about ideas, Wildrose was winning. When the campaign became about mudslinging, things changed quick. But you know what? We have to be a little smarter too. And we've learned a lot from this campaign. We've learned the tactics that are going to be used against us in the future. And we're just going to make sure that we have better policy, that we have better tactics, better communication, and I think next time we'll be ready. I failed to see how this was certainly not a rejection of the Wildrose. I mean, you can't go from 0 seats last election to 20 in this election and say that's a failure. That's incredible. But I think people want us to have a little more seasoning and have our MLAs, our 20 MLAs, learn the ropes a little bit before they entrust us with the entire government, and I can respect that completely.
I got one more. Where were you when you heard you were declared?
I was sitting upstairs on my bed, watching the results come in.
By yourself? Or you
with Anita.
secluded?
With Anita.
Oh, okay.
I don't. I'm a guy who likes to throw things around sometimes. So as obviously, I won't go down there. But no, and I didn't actually at all. So I like to watch the things with just Anita because it gives us a chance to kind of take it in.
Some thoughts on your competitors. Obviously, a lot of people thought this was a 2-horse race between you and Kelly. How well do you think the other competitors ran against you?
You know what, Kelly's a gentleman. He was a stand-up guy. He did not resort to mudslinging. Early on, I was a little worried it was gonna go down that path with that crew, but Kelly showed himself to be a true gentleman, and he didn't do that. Now his party certainly threw a lot of mud at me and made a lot of false and libelous accusations, but they'll have to they'll have to be held accountable for, and they will. But Kelly was not involved in any of that to that extent.
Looks like Ted Martin might be voted out.
Yes.
Any surprise there? What do you think about that?
Well, Ted, Ted's a good man, and he's a friend, and he always will be a friend for my part. What happened with Ted is that unfortunately he was kind of part of the start of this wave. He was one of the originators of it quite a few years back, and it's coalesced around another leader, being Danielle, and I wished he would have joined us sooner. I think he would have been a welcome addition, but that time is obviously past now, and I think he'll do a great job back at the University of Calgary, putting together some great ideas for the Conservative movement going forward. He'll always have a strong voice, and he's a good man.
Follow up to that, how do you feel about having a knowledge or a known face like Bruce McAllister going to be sitting beside you there?
I love it. Bruce is going to be he's going to be a star. He's so sharp and very media savvy, and he's got good, solid Conservative principles that I really appreciate. And I think you'll definitely see with Bruce going forward that he'll be a strong voice for not just Chestermere and Rockview, but for this entire region. So I can't wait to sit by him. We have quite the circle right around there between Danielle, Bruce, and myself, so we're going to have a good time.
Are you going to kind of slow things down in Parliament, the way you've been kind of pushing a bit?
Yes, you will. I'm going to take a little bit of a break. I think people have been, it's been quite a debate, and I think now's the time to congratulate the PCs. Let them relish their victory. We're going to relish our victory here, and then we're going to see where they go from here. Maybe they will have learned some lessons from tonight, because if we quintuple our vote total again, we're in a pretty good spot. So I think that let's see. I hope they learn from this.
I just finally had you get to work for Airdrie when you return.